So pretty much what happened was that I joined the nostalgia hobby kind of like a joke. It was like a little nostalgia trip, a little haha, remember childhood. It was more or less a side quest that I took on to remedy the existential dread I was feeling from being unemployed after going to trade school at the start of this year. I thought, man, it would be fun to get back in the hobby, meet some people, but now I'm tracking ROI charts and spreadsheets and I'm doing more work than my actual job. At this point, I'm pretty much pitching seed round money for Pikachu Inc. The one thing that I've definitely learned is that Pokemon is not like music journalism. You cannot just parachute in and expect it to work out for you. The new kid on the block is not always rewarded. You can't just come into the game with an 800 word think piece that's snarky but funny and expect to be taken seriously. The thing that earns you credibility in this hobby is longevity, loyalty, and those things you just can't fake. And trust me, I tried. Pokemon is not some flash in the pan thing like Noisy or Vice was. It's damn near a church with a cult following. Now, I should know I've been on both sides of this. A few years ago, The Ringer called me the most notorious music journalist Toronto had ever seen. And now I get DMs about how long it's going to take for a box to clear customs from Japan. I joined this world in January 2025, which is, as you know, the peak. Prismatic evolutions, baby. All these EVs terrestrialized, looking beautiful, and most important, looking expensive. Everybody's hopping on the trend, chasing the chase cards, and me, I hop right in. I invest money. I start buying Japanese boxes. I am overpaying for Japanese boxes like it's crypto in 2017 all over again. And again, it wasn't that I was new to Pokemon. I was just really busy from being 9 years old to being 29 years old. There was growing up, moving around, working for Vice, going to prison, all the typical things that you would do in your life. But that's the thing about this game, it rewards loyalty. And I should know, even though I'm new to the card thing, I've been playing Pokemon Go since the day it came out, and I can tell you that it's a lot easier to get in on raids and finish things off than it would be if I had just started in January of 25 for that as well. I played Pokemon Go through job changes, through drug binges, even through incarceration. It's one of the few things that I've stuck with longer than anything else. But you know what? It paid off. You get the shinies, you get to keep the shinies, you build the community. Pokemon Go is easy because of the time sunk in. Conversely, Pokemon cards are hard because I just parachuted into it. But flipping cards is another beast, okay? I've lost money buying collections on Facebook Marketplace where the cards turned out to be fake. I've bought fake PSA slabs. You get ghosted, you get negotiated down with. It's really quite the hassle. But along the way, I learned that Pokemon are an asset class, and that's important, and that's what I really wanted to tap into. They're also a cultural totem. Listen, anime is huge. It's run people's childhoods since 1990. And this community, this weird, beautiful plastic sleeve tribe, it's better than most of the scenes I've gotten to write about. Now, you know me, I've always got a guy, and as a result of that, I've been able to speed run some pretty big connections in the Pokemon scene and learn some really interesting things along the way. However, one of those things was that I'm probably too late to the game to actually be any good at this. All these Japanese boxes that I bought, they're coming from Japan for $30. That's where the next step is. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm going to make another video about all the lessons I've learned in Pokemon, but this is specifically to talk about the new direction of the channel. Which is what? The upside of all of this. I have unlocked an entire new dimension on how to grind. I'm talking about auctions, pickup deals, Costco, Facebook Marketplace, matching prices, using eBay, using ChatGPT, wheeling and dealing, all with nostalgia being the main backbone of what we're doing here. It may not always be Pokemon. Maybe it's this Final Fantasy figurine that I picked up for kind of cheap that I'm going to sell for about 300 bucks. Maybe it's this Lego Jurassic Park thing that I got on auction that I plan on reselling to some lucky kid. Or sometimes it's all about just grabbing nostalgia for the sake of nostalgia, like Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo. I'm still flipping slabs, I'm still selling the Japanese collection on my website, and I'm still going to be making content about Pokemon. I've got like 3 or 4 really good YouTube video ideas that I still want to squeeze off before I completely leave the hobby and call it quits. And in case you were wondering, no, this is not one of those good video ideas. This is me just kind of getting some stuff out there. Also, thanks to ChatGPT, I've been able to dump everything I've ever written into it and develop YouTube scripts in my own voice. Obviously, that's not the only thing I'm reading. I'm kind of freestyling as I go, but it does make content creation so much easier. Not to mention that I have inventory tools, ROI calculators, Excel spreadsheets. I'm treating this thing like a business because, to be honest with you, it kind of is. I'm not doing this because I love the cards. I'm doing this for the passive income. I want to make my life better. I want to make my family life better. And if I have to tap into nostalgia and wheel and deal around that, so be it. It would be nice to pull a Moonbreon because then I could pay for the therapy that I've endured having to collect this hobby. So even though you can't parachute into the hobby and hope for the best, there's a lot of things that you can learn from every experience that you take into the next experience with you. And that's where I'm at now. Now, at the end of the day, you could chase the hits or you could build something that sticks. It's really up to you. Either way, you don't want to fumble the bag, or I guess in this case, the binder. Until next time.